on, everybody? Welcome back to a special edition of the Weekly Dosage. This is going to be specifically a YouTube event for the Weekly Dosage. We're going to, every now and then, talk about current events. If something major happens and we want to discuss it, we're going to put it on YouTube. This is in addition to the monthly Weekly Dosage podcast. I'm here with Bishop. Him and I talked this early Saturday morning, and he was fired up. And you know what? I'm gonna let you open it up, Bishop. What are you fired up about?
All right, man. Let's get into it. We're gonna talk about the fatal shooting of Ahmaud Arbery, who was down in Glenn County, Georgia. The young man was jogging through his neighborhood, and two Caucasian males decided to gun him down. When I'm looking at this, we look at the article here. From CNN, and it says that April 7th, the district attorney, George Barnhill, wrote that his son and the suspect, Gregory Michael, helped with the earlier prosecution of Arbery when they both worked for the Brunswick Judicial Circuit District Attorney's Office. So it seems like they had previous history.
Who had previous history? Arbery, district attorney's office.
Arbery, no, Arbery and Gregory McMichael, who is the father of the pair. It's Gregory McMichael and Travis McMichael.
From my understanding, he was a law enforcement. He was an investigator with the district attorney's office.
Previous investigator. Now, at the time when the murder was committed, he was not an investigator. He was off of the force. But yes, he had previously helped investigate and investigate Michaels in a previous case. So it says
this thing happened February 23rd from what I'm reading here.
This did happen February 23rd, and the video wasn't released till a couple of days ago. Today is May 9th. So, we're all just the public is just seeing this video. You know what I mean?
Wow. That is unbelievable.
It is.
I'm not sure if the coronavirus has anything to do with it or not, but it is unbelievable that these two gentlemen, from my opinion, murdered this guy from the video. I didn't see the video till today because I've been not wanting to see it. And they murdered this guy, and nothing happened. Nothing happened till recently, and that is insane.
Until the video was released, right? So, and then the Georgia Bureau of Investigation had to get involved in order to make the arrest. But my issue is, why weren't they arrested at the time of the incident? Because if this had happened to any of us, we would have been arrested at the time of the incident.
The excuse is that the district attorney from that area had to recluse himself, or however you say it, and then a neighboring district attorney had to do the same thing due to the fact that they both have prior working experience with the gentleman, so they had to use a third district attorney to file the charges, from my understanding.
Mm-hmm.
And that may have been the delay because of the conflict of the interest. Now, I still can't see why it took so long.
Right.
I honestly don't see why it took so long. From my understanding, and correct me if I'm wrong because I briefly read it. I saw it on Facebook, and I turned my head away from it because I knew it was bad. And as a novice podcaster, I got to make myself aware of what's going on in the world. And so I said, you know what? Let me read up on it real quick. Let me watch the video, and I was disgusted.
Disturbed.
From my understanding, Arbery was jogging, and these guys went ahead and approached him. The video doesn't show what was discussed, but obviously I could see the McMichael gentlemen, both of them were in the wrong because they stopped this truck in the middle of the road and tried to detain him. But for what reason?
What reason?
What was this reason?
I listened to the 911 call. The 911 call, these dudes, they state that he was inside of a house. So the operator is asking, is he committing any crime? No, he was inside of a house. Is the house uh someone's personal property? No, it's a house that's open. It's being worked on. Oh, there he is. He's running down the street. He's running down the street. These people decided to take the law into their own hands and make up a charge against this young man, because the state of Georgia, if it's not a closed premises, you're not trespassing. So regardless if he was in a house that was being worked on that had no closed doors, it's a house, it's a shell of a house. You don't have the right, and it's not your property. You don't have the right to defend anyone else's property.
Well, especially when there's nothing being taken. Obviously, he was running, so he had nothing in his hands. You know
No
what
shirt
I mean?
on.
No shirt on, nothing. He obviously didn't steal anything, so you call the police if you see something suspicious, and you let it go.
Exactly. No, they
I
took the
mean,
law into their own hands. And
they
if you
took
look
it
at the
upon themselves.
video,
Go
if
ahead.
you look at the video, it was a lynching. You know, you got the dad standing on the bed of the truck. The son shoots him with a shotgun. The man's fighting for his life. And then you have, from what I just received another article, the person who's filming it is actually friends of the son and the father.
Oh shoot! So he was recording it like it was like like
He thought
it was an
he
episode of
thought
Cops.
he thought that it would get them off the hook.
Wow.
So if he never released that video, this probably wouldn't even we probably wouldn't even be discussing this. And this is the issue that we have today with society. You know, we're still 1/3 of a man in a lot of people's eyes. And when I say we, and I'm talking about men of color, black men,
Mm-hmm.
there's no reason that this man shouldn't be able to jog freely, explore freely around his own neighborhood without somebody looking to kill him. This is not just the first. This is the second incident within this week that a young black man was killed,
And you know
gunned down.
the thing is, and you know me, always try to look at both points of view, but I can't even see any point of view in this in the other side. This is clearly a issue of race. This is a racial issue.
Issue. You can't look at it any
Absolutely,
other
and I
way.
can't look at it any other way. There was a perception there, which was racist in itself, that this gentleman is jogging. That could have easily been me.
Me, you, my
That
son,
could have easily
your
been me.
son.
My son, anybody, just jogging.
And then, you know, even when you look at it from a law standpoint, if the man was committing a crime, you know, you leave that up to the police. And if you are trying to apprehend someone, or trying to stop the crime in progress, when someone's running away from you, fleeing away from you, you do not have the right to shoot them. You do not have the right to kill them in cold blood. This is an issue that we facing here, and let's get down to the nitty gritty facts. I want to know, what is it that these people fear? What is it that you are so afraid of? That's what I want to know, because that's what caused this young man to lose his life, was fear. What is the hatred about? We have done nothing. We have done nothing but receive the short end of the stick for centuries. What is the hatred about? Can somebody leave in the comments? Can somebody answer me? Why do you hate us?
I tell you what, nobody's going to answer that. Nobody has the balls to answer that, especially if they're racist. I mean, they're not going to answer that. They're not. I mean, I see what you're saying, and I'm upset right there with you. I mean, it's disgusting. I did not want to watch this video. You and I talked about it, in fact, yesterday. And you told me, "Have you seen the video yet?" And I said, "No, I don't want to see it. I'm afraid to look at it because I like to give the benefit of the doubt in a lot of things. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, let's just say this wasn't a race issue. All right.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Let's just say this wasn't an issue of race.
Yep.
All right.
Let's say that.
You see somebody possibly in a house that the person's not supposed to be in, an unoccupied construction zone. All right.
Mm-hmm.
You see somebody in there looking around. Now, I have been to places before that is under construction, and it had piqued my interest, and I'll walk around like, oh, see what they're doing over here. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But let's say you see somebody. If you see something wrong in your neighborhood, by all means, you have a responsibility to call law enforcement and report suspicious activity.
Activities, absolutely.
If you feel that something is suspicious. However, the guy's running, whether you saw him in the building or not. All right, let's just say they saw him. Now he's running.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, you could see that he has nothing. If he stole something, if you're talking about a screwdriver or something like that, all right, let's just say
right, a piece of copper,
a piece,
right?
But there's nothing large enough. There's no high dollar amount because you don't see it. It's something that you can easily put in his pocket. Why are you going to pursue that? And why are you going to make the conscious decision to gather a mob, okay, or a group of people? Your son, right? McMichael grabbed his son, his 34-year-old son, and his buddy, grabbed shotguns, got in the back of the truck, and pursued this individual. That in itself is just taking it too far. Whether you want to make it too far. Whether you want to make it, these guys. I'm just gonna say, let's say some of these guys are like listening right now to us and saying this is not an issue about race. Okay, okay, I'll play that game. It's not an issue about race. But why do you feel that you have the right to grab shotguns and detain an individual when you're not the police?
You're not the police.
Retired law enforcement officer, retired peace officer, you're not the police anymore.
And it's not your property to defend. Now, I'm all for defending your own property.
Life. There's no risk in life.
Right.
There's, this guy doesn't have anybody hostage. He's not beating somebody up. You call the police and you let them handle their business. If you want to follow the individual, then you follow the individual and just keep on reporting police. Oh, he's in this block. I see him. But why did you take it upon yourself to block a road, get out of the vehicle with a shotgun? What did you think was going to happen? What did you think? Let's say if he was a criminal, you put yourself in a position where you had no choice but to shoot an individual. You are wrong, an unarmed individual.
See, but this is the thing, though. In this situation, it's not like they're not familiar with this young man. So he's probably familiar with you, too. Why are y'all approaching me with shotguns?
What do you mean?
You live around the corner. You know where I live.
They seen him before? Did they say? I guess.
Of course, he's gonna fight for his life.
Absolutely. Like I said, that's exactly what I said. They put themselves in a position where they're gonna have to utilize. Why did you bring that with you? But did they know this individual? Is there any documentation that says that?
Yes. There's documentation saying that that this guy McMichael worked on a case. He worked on a case that involved Ahmad.
Oh, so then he already had a perception of this individual.
He already had a perception of this individual. He already had it. And he probably didn't get him before. And so what happened? The situation landed Ahmad on probation for 5 years. So he didn't do any jail time for whatever they tried to get him for, right? So he probably, I'm just saying, he probably felt some type of way and took it personal.
He got his feelings hurt. Absolutely. All right. All right. Now that it's getting deeper. This is getting deeper. Absolutely 100% getting deeper. This is ugly. This is an ugly situation. And
The owner
like I
of
said,
the home.
I need, the people need answers. Why did it take so long? All right,
Uh-huh.
perhaps let's say the
Excuse me.
coronavirus and stuff like that, but for the most part, this is open and closed. I can't,
It's it.
you know me, I always try to find something. I can't find anything that justify February 23rd to May whatever. I can't.
So it's saying that the homeowner has clips of a man that appears to be Arbery, um, coming onto his property on that day. But he declined to share the clips with anyone. So
So
the
what?
man the
So
man
what? Let's
appears to be
say
stealing fish tackle. Is fish tackle a death sentence?
that's what I'm saying. So what? Let's say it was Audrey. Is it Aubrey or Audrey? I'm screwing it up.
Arbery.
Aubrey. Let's say it was Aubrey. Okay.
Mm.
So what? What justification that results in deadly force? What justifies deadly force?
Only when
Nothing.
you're being attacked with
Yes.
deadly force.
Exactly. What in this situation justifies deadly force? You
Right.
came out that truck with a shotgun. You know what I'm saying?
Lock, stock, and cock.
That's deadly force. As a individual in law enforcement, you don't you pull that out. You have intent to use deadly force.
Right.
And Mr. McMichael, being a former law enforcement officer, he should already know that.
Mm-hmm.
Why? Like I said,
It's almost mind-boggling. It's
it is
mind-boggling.
absolutely mind-boggling, and like I said, I cannot find. It's to me 100% clear cut. Excuse me. It is an issue of racism, and you know
It
me.
is.
I normally do not say that. It is an issue of racism.
It is.
And
It is, and hatred.
and hatred, and it's ugly. It's disgusting. I don't want to ever see that video again. It is upsetting, and I can't find any more words to describe how I feel right now.
And let me make this clear. Let me make this clear to people.
Go
Sorry. Whatever the case may be, where people feel like, maybe people are trying to incite some type of race war, or you're never gonna get black people to hate another race of people in its entirety. You may have some individuals, but that is not our build. That is not our build. So that's not going to work right there. We fight for bigger things. That's not going to work right there. Y'all need to understand something, like the way the planet is fueled off of hate and negativity right now. This is minute in the bigger picture, but this has to be addressed. This has to be addressed right now. There's no more marching. There's no more praying. There's no more kumbaya. This has to be addressed. Why is there? What the history proves that we ain't do nothing. I'm upset, man.
Okay, I'm going to ask the question, and once again, hopefully we get the answer soon. But I already know your answer, but I'm going to ask it anyways. If this video never surfaced, do you think these guys would still be walking free right now?
Let me chew my tobacco before I say this. They'd have been home free like a bird. All right, and there'd been another mother crying, wondering what happened to her son.
Mm-hmm.
If they were a little bit more intelligent, and the guy who filmed the video, didn't release it, they would be free as birds right now, laughing in people's faces. But no, because it's a conflict of interest only because everybody knows everybody in that town.
Okay.
Everybody,
Yes.
you know what I'm saying? It's a small community. The law enforcement is small, and they're gonna look out for each other.
Here goes one point that I want to add that just popped in my mind, and you just brought it up. Everybody knows everybody in that town. All right. Obviously, McMichael and Arbery had history, so there's a perception, or if he had there was a suspicion that Arbery was early in the day or in the past have perhaps stolen things or went on the property when he wasn't supposed to, trespassing.
Right.
If McMichael knew who he was, he should have just notified law enforcement immediately because he knows where he knows who he is, he knows where he lives. So then that definitely defeats the excuse of pursuing him. There should be no excuse to pursue him if you know who he is and where he lives. Then why pursue him?
Why pursue him? And why pursue him when it's not your property? It is not your property.
Absolutely. But like I said, people are stupid. You and I both know that. There's a lot of stupid people out there, and I'm just gonna say, obviously these two gentlemen ain't bright.
Yeah. It definitely would have been swept under the rug. That's my answer.
But going through all the information that you gave me today, that they had history together. McMichael know who Arbery is. Arbery know who McMichael is because they had a past when he was a law enforcement official.
Mm-hmm.
He already suspected him of being a trespasser, possibly stealing. Who knows? Then that should have just been reported to the police, and that's it, because he know who he is, he know where he lives, and that's it.
That's it.
That's even more reason not to pursue this individual.
So you could film the young man being shot, or you pursuing him, but you didn't film him actually committing the crime.
Well, here goes another. I don't know what the Georgia law is, but
No, it's just a rhetorical question. You know what I mean?
As far as recording somebody, I know you could record somebody in public, but sometimes, like I said, I don't know what the Georgia law is, but you might need permission to record somebody, so that might add to additional charges. But I think that's the least of his worries. Right
it
now.
Is.
I mean,
because they didn't ask for permission when they recorded him as he was being gunned down. I saw
that shotgun. Well, it went off at least 3 times.
3 times.
Jesus Louise, man, what the?
And they were since February. Since February when it happened, they were allowed to go home and eat and sleep comfortably with their families. It's disgusting. And that town and that county should be held accountable, and anybody that's involved in it should be held accountable. Because let that had happened, reverse roles, and that young man would have been guilty until proven innocent. Let's not beat around the bush here. Like we don't get the shit end. He would have been guilty until proven innocent, and they should have got the same treatment until the investigation was over and they were found innocent or guilty as they are. This is disgusting, man. And that whole town needs to be shut down. Their whole police force and anybody who had knowledge of that needs to be shut down. That is not police work. That is not policing. There's no reason that the Georgia Bureau of Investigation had to come in to investigate a homicide.
I agree. That's one thing that's very surprising, that had to take the state, Georgia Bureau of Investigation to investigate a case that I assume that is clear cut. Like I said, the only reasoning that I have read recently is perhaps because there was a conflict of interest and the local authorities forwarded up to the GBI. I could be wrong, but I just cannot see why this took so long. February 28th, March 28th, April 28th, 2 months and some change.
Crazy.
I can't see that. I don't understand. You know, I never investigated a crime before. You know what I mean? But if that's how long it takes to investigate something that's clear in that local judicial system or that local policing system, then they need to reevaluate things. They need to get better detectives. I don't know. But
this got to stop, man. My question is, what about the Ahmaud Arbery's that don't get caught on video? You know, this is in every city, in every state. There's incidents like this that don't get any light. If this wasn't caught on video, would we be discussing this? That's the issue here.
no, we probably wouldn't. We probably wouldn't be discussing this. So, and you know, it brings back to me, that's really disgusting. It brings me back, and I know there's other cases out there, but it brings me back to the Trayvon Martin case, because that one was open and closed. I mean, you know what? I'm trying not to get mad. I'm upset. I'm trying not to get mad, and I don't want to jump down another rabbit hole because I'm going to get myself worked up, and I don't need that today.
Let's be clear to the people out here. This is not about hatred on our end. This is about understanding and overstanding, because we need to have an overstanding as people that are already separated. If you look at people, they're separated by regions to begin with. Everybody, you separate yourselves by regions, where you're from, what country you're from, and you forget that we all got blood and bones. Right? There's separation going on. There's a lack of communication. And my views here is to understand why. I need an answer. We asking for answers. We looking for answers.
Absolutely. And you know what? Hopefully we get the answer soon. So, all right, brother, that's it, man. Let's stop talking about this, guys. Hopefully, you know, give us your opinions on the matter, because maybe we ain't seeing something and you're seeing something differently. And if you are, please comment. Please comment.
Please.
I'm interested in what our viewers think about this situation. So, thank you for listening. Thank you for watching, and we hope to see you soon.